Good evening or afternoon, everybody. Hope you guys are all enjoying your wonderful day. This is going to be yet another upload. It's pretty surprising. I have another upload for today. It's my third one, but this is going to be a video on the Christmas snowstorm here. We have a few updates here. GFS new model run, European new model run as well. We're going to be taking a look at the NAM and as well as the HRRR models. So we are going to be seeing a lot of new things on this video here, whether it's a new update or it's just a whole new model we're looking at throughout this video here. So we do actually have quite a bit of updates here. Southern trend for this snowstorm leaning to more snow in the south here as well, leaning towards a big trend towards the Appalachians all the way from Georgia up to Pennsylvania. So we are looking at a lot of updates here on the timing of this snowfall accumulation. As well, we're going to be talking about whether your location could see a white Christmas, and if so, how much snow. And if you're not getting white Christmas, we're going to be looking at how much rain and when that rain will be in your area. But before we get in the video, be sure to subscribe to the channel. I really would appreciate it. We are so close to 5,100 subscribers. You guys are all individually amazing. And as well, be sure to comment if you have any questions below on exactly your local forecast, and I'll do my best to respond to them. But without further ado, let's get in the video. So here's a look now at the National Weather Service. If you saw my last video around 2 hours ago, you would know that there are blizzard warnings right now in place for portions of the Midwest, or they actually have extended now all the way up into the Fargo area and the Grand Forks area. So we do actually have much of eastern South Dakota, much of the eastern Dakotas, and much of the far western counties of Minnesota are under blizzard warnings here for this low pressure that will help be one of the factors in this Christmas snowstorm. So I'm showing this right now because the low pressure that's going to bring in its blizzard conditions, which is really right here right now, will be one of the factors in this snowstorm here and this Christmas snowstorm, because as this low pressure goes eastward, it'll bring in a lot of snow across the Midwest here and some moisture across this general area. So this will be one of the factors. So that's why I wanted to talk about that. But as of now, this low pressure is going to bring in very, very strong winds here. We have a few states in the Midwest and Western Plains there that do actually have high wind warnings for up to 60+ mile-an-hour winds here. And as well, we actually do have windstorm watches now for many areas in the Twin Cities there, and much of as well northwestern Wisconsin, and windstorm warnings remaining for much of Minnesota. So almost a lot of Minnesota is under some type of accumulation or some factor here, but going to be seeing some very windy conditions here, and that's going to come into play as well for this Christmas Eve and Christmas snowstorm. So I'm not just talking about this for no reason, because as the second low pressure develops off the Gulf Coast, and that second one, or that first one's going to be all the way up there, that's going to help bring in all this moisture here, and then this same low pressure will bring in some very strong winds here for portions of the Mississippi River Basin and southeast during this potential second wave of that low pressure snow here. So that's going to be coming in by Christmas Eve morning. We'll start to see that rain really turn into snow here, and then by Christmas Eve night, and then Christmas Eve, it's going to be just big wintry mess for the eastern United States. But let's take a look now at what we have for the new GFS and new model runs. So here's a look now at the new GFS, and you can see this is the newest update here, 18Z, and there you see that first low pressure right there at 984 millibars. So this is the low pressure that's going to bring in that very heavy snow in the Midwest, which is why we had those blizzard warnings. So there's that low pressure. It's going to bring in, as its high pressure is behind this moisture, it'll help create really nice snow. It's going to be very dry, a very dry atmosphere, so it's going to be very fluffy snow, not going to be too wet as there's a lack of moisture here. So there's that cold air. It's going to kind of be right here. So that cold front and Arctic blast is just going to be just behind that moisture way to the east of the actual low pressure. But we will have a second low pressure develop just off the Gulf Coast here, and that's going to be the main low pressure that actually steers this system, as a second, or that first initial low pressure will move more to the north. As you see, there it is. It's going to move north here, but this one low pressure right here is going to help allow for that snow to develop, and the second low pressure right here is going to help develop for all that moisture in the southeast here. So as that moisture comes in for the Gulf, nice amounts of humidity will come throughout the Gulf of Mexico. There's that cold front just behind that moisture. It's going to be a very, very close call. This cold front, Arctic blast, will be riding the back of this moisture here. So it's going to see some scattered snow showers there Christmas Eve morning for areas like Chicago, Illinois, Springfield, Illinois, but areas to the east and south will be seeing those slightly warmer temperatures and slightly above freezing, we'll be seeing some really big time flooding here and heavy rain. But as we get closer now, later into Christmas Eve, mid-afternoon, we're going to be seeing a lot of that rain converting to snow, especially for areas that are just on the, I guess you could say, backside of that moisture, because that's where that cold front will be. And that cold front, based on the GFS, CMC, and European, it'll actually make it in time. That cold front will reach the moisture just in time to bring in snow for northern Georgia, Alabama, much of Tennessee, as well, including the Carolinas here. So we actually have a lot of updates compared to yesterday and a few updates compared to this morning here. So this is the 18Z, though when we looked at this morning was, I believe, the 12Z here, but very heavy snow for areas like central Tennessee there. The thing about Nashville, it's going to be a very close call, because that cold front does not really actually make a difference in that moisture converting to snow until it actually passes passes the metro area. So Nashville's right here. It'll be the worst, would just be to the east here. So Nashville, you guys may get nothing at all. A few flurries, but the worst of it will be just east of you guys. And as that really heavy flooding continues in portions of the southeast, we'll be seeing those rapidly decreasing temperatures. That's going to bring in a factor here, bringing some really heavy snow into northern Georgia. By Christmas Eve evening, it'll start, of course, into northwestern Georgia, northeastern Alabama. So we are seeing a higher confidence that this snow will go more to the south here. I mean, yesterday they were struggling to get the snow even to Alabama and Georgia, even the highest elevations, but now they get all the way down now near North Metro Atlanta. So a high confidence that this cold front may reach the moisture just in time. An example is that my low for Christmas Eve is now 23 degrees, so it continues to decrease, meaning there's a better chance that this cold front will reach in time. But as well, not just the southeast, going to be seeing some good amount of snow there all the way to Columbus, Ohio, Frankfort, Huntsville, and southeastern Kentucky. We're seeing some very heavy snow. In those areas, we'll be seeing well below freezing temperatures, so no worry about you guys. The only thing is when that snow will actually convert into rain. Doesn't exactly mean when it exactly goes to freezing. It really just means when that rain actually has time to convert into a frozen precipitation there. As we now get later into now Christmas early morning, so I think 5-6 a.m., we're going to be seeing the snow all the way from northern Georgia down to as far up as Lake Erie and even Lake Huron here. For example, I'm going to be seeing some snow showers still on Christmas morning here. So definitely be, there's a lot of confusion here because the National Weather Service, the Weather Channel, don't have a single flake for my area, northern Georgia, but you look at global models like European, CMC, and GFS, they now, all three of those now taking a big southern shift. So I think there's a lot of confusion here, and I would recommend just following three global models instead of the Weather Channel. But obviously, really, I think the Weather Channel should be on it by tomorrow here, because obviously this is going to be occurring in 2 days. So definitely something to really keep an eye on. But I would recommend looking at these three models instead of the Weather Channel, because obviously these three models see something in common here. But really heavy snow as low pressure goes up the east coast there later mid-morning there. Christmas going to bring some big time flooding here, and I mean big time flooding, up to 2 to 3 inches of rain there for much of the eastern corridor. As this low pressure strengthens, the rate of moisture and precipitation will come down even faster. So heavier snow and rain depending where you are. And then by later Christmas afternoon, that snow will continue for Pennsylvania and portions in the mid-Atlantic there that got hit really hard by gale. So here's like now at the New European here, and this is quite a big update as well, especially for areas as well. My area, I'm kind of quite excited about where I am in Gainesville, that the Europeans actually getting snow there again. So definitely some confidence now, higher confidence for that snow going down back into Alabama, back into Georgia, and even the tip of South Carolina. So definitely something to keep a close eye on, especially because, I mean, this will be the first snow coming down in Christmas in 10 years for these areas. So definitely something really important. It may not bring that much accumulation, but it's definitely an important and, I guess, memorable moment. But in the next 36 hours, there you see that low pressure up there at 988 millibars. So it's going to be quite strong, which is exactly why we will be seeing such the strong winds coming around, looping around that low pressure there. That's going to bring in those blizzard conditions possibly for a few hours for Minnesota and Wisconsin, up to 40 to 60 mile-an-hour winds But more to the south, we're going to be seeing some calmer winds because that low pressure is going to be way to the north to actually bring in those really strong winds. But as that second low pressure off the east coast comes, or off the Gulf Coast comes in, winds will start to get a bit stronger, especially for these areas, because if you live right here, that low pressure is just going to be right on the edge of that circle. So really anything west of that will be seeing the strongest winds there. But next 42 hours, the European expects some of that rain to convert into snow for portions of the off Lake Michigan shores, as that cold front, of course, going to bring in getting near freezing temperatures, but obviously to the south and to the east will get really heavy, just drenched with rain there. But later on, there's that snow really developing, yet the European has yet to really show anything for the Nashville metro. Of course, Nashville is right here, I believe so. So yeah, definitely. That's the thing here. It is a 6-hour gap, so there could be a few snow showers, but really, of course, I don't see anything major for Nashville. If you're east or south of Nashville, there's a possibility for something really interesting, but again, this is still really a nail biter for areas in Nashville, Atlanta, Huntsville. It's still a big nail biter, but as we're not getting to Christmas Eve evening, there's that snow really blowing up for areas like Columbus, Ohio, Lexington, Cincinnati, Frankfort, all the way down as well near the Chattanooga, Tennessee area. But of course, there's that low pressure to 1,001 millibars, and as it strengthens, we're going to be seeing either heavy rain, let's say just to the east in my area there, or heavy snow. It's going to really just depend there. So you can go from heavy rain to heavy snow in a matter of minutes if you're right on that line that can allow for that snow there. But there you see, that snow dips all the way now to northern Georgia, a huge southern dip there. As well, I live right off that Lake Lanier area, so they're finally getting me some snow the first time in like 24 hours they've gotten me there. So now that even the European, which did not show this morning, even now they're starting to go into southern trends. So definitely interesting here. You do see now they're getting snow for Alabama, maybe the tip of South Carolina there, but of course not even close to what we're going to be, not even close to how severe it'll be out here near Charleston, as well near Asheville, and as well near the Huntsville area, or not Huntsville, yeah, I believe the Huntersville area there in southeastern Kentucky. So definitely watching very closely here. Going to be seeing some very heavy snow for those areas there. And of course, going to even see some snow showers continuing by Christmas morning there across these regions there in northern Georgia. A few flurries in my area, of course. And then even some few flurries by Christmas night for some areas off Lake Erie, or sorry, not Lake, or off Lake Erie, and as well off the Ohio River there. That's what we have right now. But let's look now at the NAM 3-kilometer model here. So this is the next 40 hours out. There you see that rain kind of developing. Of course, the heaviest of the rain will be kind of more towards the south of those showers, because that's the closest to that low pressure. So the closer you are, basically the heavier the precipitation there, whether it's snow, rain, ice, anything. You will start to see those slight rain showers converting to some snow showers. It's going to be a gradual process, but as we're not getting now in the 45 hours out, a huge difference. Really heavy snow or really heavy rain. I mean, that's just the definition. Look at how heavy that rain is. Up to an inch or two for some of these areas of rain. And then just to the west, it really matters. That little cold front, a 5-mile difference, could just make a huge difference to your forecast here. But very heavy snow out there for Cincinnati, Columbus, and look at that. Now going to bring some very heavy snow there across Tennessee. Yet the NAM 3-kilometer has really yet to show anything for Georgia or Alabama, but I do expect them to show at least a little bit more by tomorrow here if they continue to see that southern trend. But really heavy snow for Frankfort, Columbus, now getting to as well Toronto. But the thing is, as this moves out, we will start to see the backside of all that moisture. We'll have a slight amount of moisture here, and that's going to help now that the temperatures will be, by Christmas morning, well below freezing, the 20s and teens in these areas. We'll see no rain showers, just snow showers. If any moisture that's left, it will be snow showers in the southeast. But look at how heavy that snow is going to be for areas like far eastern Ohio there. Charleston is going to get some really heavy snow, but look at those little snow showers here. That's going to be my best chance based on the NAM 3-kilometer to get me some nice accumulation there. But Pittsburgh going to get a white Christmas, of course. Cleveland going to get a white Christmas, of course. Definitely really, really interesting here. Accumulation for the European, sorry, this is for the GFS. Accumulation for the GFS. A big difference for some areas, of course. Look how south they get that accumulation now. Huge dip to the south now, for all the way now near Huntsville, as well getting near the Helen area, Calhoun, Georgia, LJ. Of course, I'm right here, so I'm very, very close to that accumulation, so we'll see exactly what happens there. They're getting around an inch or 3 for Frankfort and Lexington as well, and far southeastern, or I guess far eastern Ohio, or sorry, Kentucky. We'll maybe get up to 4 inches of snowfall there. Near Columbus, a huge decrease according to the GFS. 0-1, only 2 inches for Columbus. So that's a big decrease. However, there are a few miles increasing, so it's kind of a little neutral. So it's going to be a very big range for areas like central Ohio, but just to the east there. Looking at anywhere from really 4 to 6 inches in eastern Ohio. So there has actually been as well a decrease for much of Ohio in general here. Looking at 4 to 5 inches across the Appalachians and much of West Virginia. Maybe an inch or 2 there for the northern tip of Virginia, but nothing really major. An additional maybe 2 to 4 inches for Pittsburgh. But look at that. The big snowmaker will be off Lake Erie there. Areas like Erie, Pennsylvania can get up to a foot of snowfall as well. Just south of Buffalo can get up to 1.5 feet of snow. Here, look now at the European here. They as well have taken a big shift to the south there. Do you see they're getting a lot more accumulation more to the south there, as south as really as south as Helen, Georgia, or Blue Ridge, not Blue Ridge Mountains, but Blue Ridge the city. There is a slight increase for portions of Cleveland, or Cleveland as well. A slight increase for Ohio in general, according to the European, now getting up to 4 to 5 inches there for Columbus. So it's the GFS now 1 to 2 inches, European 4 to 5 inches. So you got to really put a range. You can't just go 1 to 2 inches for that or 4 to 5 inches. You got to kind of go between, which really, in between those will be 2 to 4 inches basically. Eastern Ohio, or eastern Kentucky, around 1/2 foot of snowfall. So a slight increase there. And if Georgia, for example, increases, these areas will increase, not increase. So it's going to kind of be a domino effect. If there's more snow in Georgia, there'll be more snow all the way in these areas. It's just going to be a domino effect here. There's less snow in Georgia. There's less snow in these areas. It's just going to be a domino effect here. And look at that. To 16 inches near Erie, Pennsylvania. Jamestown has the same totals. And look at Cleveland at the 7 to 9 inches. So Cleveland gradually, slightly increasing every single update. And an amp kilometer, getting up to around a trace to an inch just south of me. It actually stops midway. There's that one band right here that's going to produce some snow. So I believe if we go a few more hours out, it will actually show accumulation for me. But hey, I would take some snow showers. I don't really need accumulation to be happy. I'll just take a few snow showers and I'm good to go. But look at that. Nashville really missing out a lot on this stuff. But just to the east, looking at anywhere from 1 to 4 inches scatter. So the Neanthric kilometer doesn't really overreact here. But they have tend to be quite accurate when it comes to winter storms this year, especially gale. They really did good with gale here. So we can't always say they're always biased towards stronger systems. Sometimes we have to be considerate with them. I do think the Neanthric kilometer, using them this far out, tends to be not a great choice. I would recommend using them once it's less than 2 days out. I would recommend using it to get a better idea and for them to be less biased towards a strong system. So we're getting to the point where using the NAM should be, I guess, decently accurate, but I guess it's really up to you here. But look at that, up to maybe 4 to 5 inches, 6 inches there for Lexington. They're also showed, like I did say, the NAM as well, really increasing for Columbus, getting up to around 1/2 foot for Columbus. So there's a lot to watch out for. So there's a big range for Central Ohio. There's a big range for Ohio in general. So if you live in Ohio, or if you live in the eastern half or central half of Ohio, good luck to get a good range because it's going to be all over the place for totals here. But yeah, hope you got into the video and see you guys later.